Give me 2 minutes, and I'll tell you a story. Each fall and early winter, I'm engaged, my wife would say obsessed, with the world of fantasy football, and I have plenty of company. Hundreds of thousands of men and women nationwide try to predict how real professional athletes will perform in a weekly National Football League game. For many, there's big money at stake. Some fantasy football leaguers, or FFL players, offer six-figure cash prizes for winner-take-all champions. And there are plenty of independent leagues where friends pool a few $100 to be divided up at the end of the season. But most of us join an FFL for the spirit of competition as we try our hand at being combination team owner, general manager, and coach. We devotees study print and online media reports and websites, watch numerous TV programs, and listen to so-called fantasy football analysts and experts telling us which players to start on our weekly teams. I've been playing fantasy football for some 30 years, and my team, the Massey Maulers, whose moniker was inspired by the great heavyweight boxer Jack Dempsey, the Manasseh Mauler, has had a pretty good run during that time. I've won 10 league championships and finished second many times. Still, I spend more time agonizing over lineups and outcomes than celebrating my successes. I'm constantly second-guessing my decisions even after a victory. Those FFL memories, good and bad, endure long after each season ends. I can recall specific plays that determined key wins, both squeakers and blowouts, or losses, dreaded perfect storm defeats or crushing nail-biters. I remember losing one championship game by a single point when a New England Patriots receiver named Irving Fryer on my opponent's team caught a touchdown pass in the last few seconds of a lopsided win during so-called garbage time. But in a subsequent year, I won our league's Super Bowl in the opening minutes of a Buffalo Bills game when quarterback Jim Kelly hit Andre Reed on a long TD bomb. Our lives as fantasy football team owners include a litany of caught or dropped passes, long runs or fumbles, interceptions, sacks, and goal line stands, such as when Dallas Cowboy running back Emmitt Smith was stuffed on fourth down in a late-season game. In the real world, the Cowboys lost that Sunday afternoon. In my fantasy football world, I claimed the league championship that day because Smith didn't score. My worthy FFL opponent was a distinguished Stanford communication professor named Stephen Chafee, who, as a fantasy football rookie, had compiled an amazing record. He was projected to win the Super Bowl that season, and he would have if Emmitt Smith had scored that goal line touchdown. Years later, at a journalism educators conference, I greeted Dr. Chafee, and he identified me, not as Professor Massey from Ball State University, but as the owner of the Massey Maulers, who had once defeated him in the Super Bowl. Yes, even ivory tower academics enjoy playing fantasy football. To the non-believers, this may all seem like a colossal waste of time, or an unhealthy obsession. But for me, it's a way to extend my love of football long after I retired from the game. My real gridiron days ended a half a century ago. But on Sundays, during the NFL season, I can once again compete in the FFL. And if I'm successful and win a championship, I award myself one of those shiny trophies we used to get back in our youth football days long ago. This is Mark Massey. Thanks for listening to my new weekly series, Give Me 2 Minutes, and I'll tell you a story. Stay tuned for more entertaining episodes, something to enjoy in these troubled times.